There is an invisible thread that connects two souls destined to meet. No matter how much time passes, how many circumstances try to separate them, or how far apart they are. This bond is stronger than any material barrier, more real than any illusion of the physical world. But what exactly is this connection? Is it just a coincidence, or is there an energetic structure that binds two beings together? Jacobo Grinberg, a researcher of the soul and psychologist, dedicated his life to studying consciousness and its relationship with reality. He discovered that our perception of the world is a construction, a matrix created by our minds, influenced by factors beyond appearances. Consciousness is not just a product of the brain, but a field of information interconnected with the entire universe. In this field, human relationships are not mere coincidences, but manifestations of a higher intelligence operating on subtle planes. If you've ever felt that someone entered your life with an inexplicable force, as if their presence had a profound meaning, then you've already experienced what Grinberg spoke of. Souls destined to meet follow a design that escapes the laws of chance. It is not about luck, nor mere physical or emotional attraction. It is a vibrational resonance, a deep synchronization between two beings that transcends the common perception of time and space. But here's the detail that many ignore: not everyone we meet is meant to stay. Sometimes we believe that someone is the missing piece of our puzzle, when in reality, they are only a reflection of an aspect of ourselves that we have yet to integrate. Grinberg teaches that reality is a mirror, and that the people who enter our lives are projections of our state of consciousness. Think about those relationships that initially seemed perfect but over time turned out to be twisted, full of conflicts, and emotionally uncontrollable. Was it really love or just a lesson disguised as a connection? There are moments when the universe places people in our path who are not meant to stay but to teach us something about ourselves. What do they teach? What we need to heal, understand, and let go of. The difference between a fleeting relationship and a destined connection lies in how both souls interact with reality. When two beings are meant to be together, there is no need for struggle, manipulation, or suffering. Everything flows naturally because they are aligned on the same level of consciousness. This does not mean there won't be challenges or initial conflicts, but these do not destroy the connection. Instead, they strengthen it. If you've ever felt that a person continues to be present in your life despite time and distance, if their thoughts accompany you even when they are not near, then it is possible that this connection is deeper than you imagine. Grinberg speaks of the interconnection of minds as a real phenomenon. It is not just a feeling but an energetic weave, a vibration that continues to exist regardless of external circumstances. The most common mistake is trying to force a connection that does not exist or clinging to someone who is not on our same frequency. When a relationship becomes a constant struggle, when you feel like you are limiting yourself just to maintain it, it is a clear sign that it is not the right connection. Destined souls do not need to force anything, but how can you recognize an authentic connection? When two souls are aligned, there is an immediate sense of recognition. It is not just attraction. It is not just affinity, it is a deep certainty. You feel that this person has always been with you, even if you have just met. No words are needed, the connection goes beyond verbal communication. Another sign is evolution. Souls destined to meet do not remain stagnant, they push each other toward growth. There is no dependency, no fear, but an expansion of consciousness. Both evolve together without needing to control or limit each other. If you feel that someone in your life helps you expand, challenges your beliefs, and awakens your true potential, then that is a powerful confirmation that the connection is real. However, many times the ego works against us. We cling to what we know, to the fear of losing, to the idea that without that person we are incomplete. Grinberg warns us, love is not attachment. True union happens only when we let go of the fear of loss. Only when you understand that the other person is not your completion but a reflection of your growth can you experience an authentic connection. If two souls are destined, the universe will bring them together, one way or another. No matter how many different paths they take, how many circumstances try to separate them, reality will always find a way to align them because consciousness operates according to principles beyond our understanding. If you have ever wondered why some encounters seem inevitable, why there are people who, despite time and distance, continue to resonate in your mind and heart, the answer lies in the very structure of consciousness. We are meant to connect, but not with just anyone, only with those souls that vibrate on our same frequency in our same purpose. The most important thing to understand is that destiny does not mean immobility. Quite the opposite. Nothing is set in stone, and we always have a choice. In fact, the way we experience connections depends on our level of consciousness. You can meet a kindred soul, and if you are not ready, the connection will fade. But if you have done the inner work, if you have learned to let go of fear, then nothing can separate you from what is truly meant for you. If this idea resonates with you, it is because, deep inside, you already know there is something beyond the visible. Perhaps you have already felt the presence of someone in your life with whom the connection is inexplicable. Maybe you're waiting for that encounter, or maybe it has already happened and you have yet to understand its true meaning. But one thing is certain: when the connection is real, it transcends every barrier. And if you are destined for someone, if you are meant to meet, life will ensure that you find each other, again and again. But there is something few people understand. Meeting a destined soul does not mean the relationship will be easy or free of challenges. The mind projects reality based on internal patterns, and when a destined connection enters our life, these patterns are disrupted. And here emerges an even greater truth. Not all of these connections are meant to last in the physical plane. Sometimes, the purpose of a soul in our life is simply to open our eyes, to teach us something fundamental about ourselves, and then to continue on its path. The human mind resists this idea. We want to hold on to what makes us feel alive, to what connects us to something greater. But you cannot own a soul. You cannot force a connection to stay if its purpose has already been fulfilled. The greatest mistake we make is confusing permanence with depth. We believe that if something does not last, then it was not real. But does the intensity of an experience depend on how long it lasts? There are encounters that, though brief, completely change the course of our existence. They are like flashes of light in the darkness. Moments when we feel that the universe is revealing something essential to us. Grinberg speaks of extraocular perception, the ability of consciousness to perceive beyond physical senses, something we also discussed in the previous video. This is why, even if two people do not see each other for years, they can continue to feel each other, to dream of each other, to remember each other. Because when a bond is real, even if it breaks in the physical plane, its essence continues to live deep within consciousness. The problem is that we have been taught to believe that only what we see and touch is real. But the most significant connections in our lives occur on a more subtle plane, in a dimension where time and space are not obstacles. So what happens when we feel that someone is our destined connection, but life separates us? The answer is simple yet profound. Nothing can separate what is aligned in consciousness. If you have felt the pain of losing someone with whom you shared an inexplicable connection, if you have spent nights wondering why fate pulled you apart, the answer lies within you. It is not a punishment. It is an invitation to grow. The right question to ask is not, why did I drift apart from this person? But rather, am I in the right frequency to attract the connection that truly belongs to me? Because even if two souls are destined, if one of them is not ready, the union cannot be sustained. Consciousness expands on different levels, and synchronization happens only when both parts are in harmony with this expansion. If one is ready to evolve, but the other remains anchored to old patterns, the connection cannot fully manifest in this plane. But if both souls have done their inner work, if they have healed their fears and overcome their limitations, then the meeting will be inevitable. Because destiny is not something fixed, but a field of possibilities that updates with every choice we make. If you want a destined connection to manifest in your life, you must first ask yourself, are you ready to receive it? Are you in the right vibration? Have you healed your emotional wounds, or are you still carrying fears and patterns that block the union? Nothing in the universe happens by chance. If someone has marked your life in an inexplicable way, if you have felt a connection that goes beyond logic and reason, it means that there is a greater design behind it. But the real question is not whether destiny will bring you back together. The question is, are you ready to receive this connection without fear, without anxiety, without the need to cling to something that can only exist in freedom? There are no magic formulas. There are no pre-written paths that cannot be changed. There is only consciousness in expansion, vibrations seeking resonance, souls searching for each other and meeting when the time is right. And when that moment comes, when two beings have reached the right frequency, nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate them. Love and connection, in their purest essence, are not fleeting emotions. They are not a biological reaction. They are a state of consciousness, vibrations that transcend time and space, manifesting in the connection between two souls that have found resonance in the vast weave of reality. The mind is not just an information processor, but a field of energy that interacts with the entire universe. This means that when two beings are destined, their connection does not depend on external circumstances, but on the level of consciousness each has reached. Now I want you to reflect. Have you ever felt a connection that defies all logic? Have you ever sensed that someone was part of your life, even when time and distance said otherwise? If this idea resonates within you, let me know in the comments. Share your story. Or, if you are open to authentic connections and ready to recognize them when they manifest, simply write, "The universe unites." The videos on this channel are sparks, small fragments of ancient wisdom ready to ignite deep reflections. It is in the comments, in the meeting of like-minded minds and souls, that the true beating heart of this space for freedom and growth comes to life. So my friend, thank you for this exchange. If you'd like to continue the journey, there's a video on screen. You're more than welcome. You are universe, we are universe, and now you are part of this community of special beings.